If you're waiting for January to start, that's the exact reason why you're stuck. Hi, my name is Rachel and I run a women's body transformation program called Level Up, where we help busy women just like you to finally drop stubborn body fat and gain life-changing confidence without restriction and without overwhelm. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the biggest lie that women like you tell themselves every single winter, which is, I'll start again in January, because look, the chances are you've never actually fully started, and if you have, you're having to restart every single year. So in this episode, I'm going to cover exactly why you need to stop with the January restarts and start taking action right now. Now, here's the biggest problem. You are delaying making progress, because this cycle that you have been stuck in this year, you were also stuck in last year and the year before and the year before that, and for as long as you can remember. Every year you tell yourself that you're starting in January. You convince yourself that right now is not the best time to start because life is too busy, because it's getting closer to Christmas, the evenings are getting darker, it's colder, there's rain, etc., etc. But there is never a right time to start. There's never a perfect time to start. There might be a more suitable time, but there's a very big difference. You are still stuck in the restrictive mindset where you think that you can't have a life and get results at the same time. So January is more appealing to you because in January you won't have as many events on, and therefore you can restrict yourself more, and therefore you can get more results. Wrong. That's not how it works, and that's not how it should work. And if you haven't got results up until this point, that will be the exact reason why. If you have always started again in January, that is your problem. You're constantly having to restart, so you're never successfully getting results. And let's face it, if you're constantly doing that, let this be the sign that that's not working. Let this be the sign that you should stop doing that right now, because if you don't stop doing that right now, you're going to keep going round and round in circles, and you'll keep restarting every year, and you'll never actually get the results that you want. And if it did work, you wouldn't be restarting. The thing that most women don't realize is you actually need to change who you are as a person, not just what you eat and the workouts that you do. So it doesn't actually matter what time of year you start. Therefore, the best time of year to start is right now in this moment. And in fact, the best time to have started was the first time you thought about doing something about it. But the second best time is right now. Because it's not just about the food you eat. It's not just about the exercise you do. It's about changing who you are as a person, changing your identity. Because the woman that got you to the position that you don't want to be in right now is not the same woman that can get you to the place you want to get to. Her habits have to change, her behaviors, her mindset, her attitude, her hard work, everything has to change. And I know that sounds really scary to begin with. And I know you're probably thinking, Christ, Rachel, I haven't got time for that. Like, Christmas is busy as it is, but that's your problem. You think that January is this magical month where everything's going to change for you, and it's not. You have to become the woman capable of getting the results, but more importantly, capable of keeping the results. And that doesn't just happen in January. That doesn't just magically happen after New Year's and you wake up and you're ready to start fresh, because you've done that for so long, and that's why you're in this position that you don't want to be in. The hard bit is changing the identity. The hard bit is accepting the fact that you have to become a different person. The hard bit is learning to change not just what you do, not just the food you eat, not just the workouts you do, but learning to change how you think, how you act, your habits, how you behave, all of these things. And I know it probably does seem really overwhelming. I know you might also be thinking, Rach, I don't need to do that. I just want to lose a few pounds. But you do. If you actually want to keep the results, and if you don't want to have to restart every January, you do have to do these things. Waiting for January is just a socially acceptable way of making an excuse. Because everyone says it. So then you feel okay about saying it. And because everyone says it and because you feel okay, you don't really think about it, even though in the back of your mind, you know you probably could do something right now, but you just tell yourself it's fine because no one else is, so what's the point? I've actually got some examples to share with you. And these are my clients that I'm working with right now who used to be the people that would start again in January, but they joined at the start of their journey in autumn/winter because they didn't want to constantly restart in January. They wanted to learn how to get results at this time of year and, more importantly, keep the results. So Bridie, for example, and this is what she said, she used to tell herself the dark evenings made her want more carbs, which would then make her put on more weight because she'd be overeating. Then she would say it's nearly Christmas, so she'd just start again in January. That was the story she would tell herself every single year. Becca used to say she always was too tired, it was too dark, I'll start in January, what's the point with Christmas, life's busy, every single year. Jill said that she would hide away in baggy jumpers and scarves so it didn't matter until she went to buy a Christmas party dress and she thought, oh shit, this body has been hibernating. These women broke the cycle by starting in October, November, December. And they hit January, and they still do it every single year because it gets better and better. They hit January already confident, already losing or having lost some weight, and with momentum. So that January's not like a restart. January's not, okay, right, let's get the ball rolling. January's like, I'm on one right now. Let's keep going. Let's push to the next level. They're not constantly restarting every single year like you are. They're not chasing the next best thing in January. They're not going into Christmas feeling uncomfortable. And I know so many of you are doing that right now because you told yourself this time last year that you'd start in January and you still didn't start in January, and you found another excuse and another excuse and another one. The excuses kept flowing and you just kept convincing yourself that it's okay, even though deep down you know it's not okay, even though deep down you know that you can and you should do more, even though you know you are capable of more. But you're just using that socially acceptable excuse of, I'll start again in January, so it doesn't matter. It does matter, and it should matter. It's your health, it's your life, it's your confidence, it's how you feel about yourself. It shouldn't be something that you keep putting off. That is just a poor excuse. As I said already, the identity shift is the biggest thing. And it's the thing that most women struggle with, because it's not just about the food and the workouts, it's about changing who you are. And that's why women like you struggle on their own, because you don't know how to change who you are, because the only person you've got is yourself, and you need to change yourself, so you can't help yourself change yourself. Pretty simple. You need to change your habits, your behaviors, how you show up, how you act, how you speak to people, how you communicate. All of these things change. They have to change if you want different results. You're going to always find a reason to delay what you're doing. January, then it will be summer, then it will be Easter. In fact, the other way around, January, then Easter, then summer, then it will be a holiday, then you'll have a birthday or something, and then Halloween and Christmas, and here we are again in this cycle. And there's probably some stressful bits of work in there somewhere between, and something happens in personal life. Like, there's always going to be a reason to not do it, to delay starting. But most people delay starting because they are not confident that they'll actually ever get the results. So if they just keep putting it off, it doesn't really matter. Because if you're not trying, then no one can turn around to you and be like, did you do it yet? Because you haven't actually tried. There is always something in the way if you let something always be in the way. Every action that you take between now and the end of this year makes January either easier or harder. You can start now and get way ahead for January, or you can just keep doing the things that aren't serving you, self-sabotaging, making yourself feel uncomfortable, feeling unhappy, overeating, drinking, whatever it is that you do, and go into January feeling freaking horrendous. Start small now. You don't have to override everything in one go. You don't have to do it all in one go. But if you started to make little changes now, you can go into January feeling so much better, and you can still enjoy the Christmas period at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can do both. Most women waste this time of year. Why not take advantage and get ahead of the game and actually head into 2026 feeling the best you have ever felt? And you can do that if you make the decision to do that, if you commit to doing it right now. Start small, don't worry about overcomplicating things, keep it simple. The best time to start is always now. Stop telling yourself a story as to why you shouldn't start now. Stop giving yourself excuses. Stop letting yourself off the hook. It's so poor. We are so quick to moan about other people's behaviours and standards, but we never take a moment to actually look at our own. We're quite happy to moan about someone at work when they haven't done something, or our partner or our kids or whoever it is. But we never actually hold the mirror up and go, do you know what? I've actually not been doing a great job with my health and fitness. I've actually been letting myself down massively. I've been letting myself off the hook. Your whole life would change if you did that. And I know that's a really big statement to make, but it's so true. Hold the mirror up to yourself. Take ownership. Stop making excuses for yourself. It's so poor. Do something about how you feel now, not in January. Because otherwise you're going to constantly convince yourself that it's fine to start in the new year. And it's just a justification. That's all it is. And here's the other thing, right? Even if you ignore everything I say today and you just start in the new year, if you actually want to keep the results that you're trying to get, you're going to have to do all of this stuff this time next year anyway. So you can't keep saying, I'll start again in January, because then you'll never actually keep the results that you get. So you might as well just start now. You can't go back to your old way of living once you've done something for 12 weeks. It doesn't work like that. You have to understand that this is just a poor mindset that you're keeping yourself trapped in. And you're choosing to do that. No one's making you. It's a choice. The only way you will ever change for good is by owning the fact that you keep making excuses by waiting for the perfect time. And then do something about it. The best time to start was the first time you thought about starting. The second best time to start is right now. Not in January, now. So with that being said, write down right now on a bit of paper, in the notes on your phone, wherever, write down what one thing can you do today that is gonna mean that you take action to getting you closer to where you wanna get to. It could be as simple as you're going to prep your food for the next 3 days. It could be that you're going to go and get 10,000 steps in today. It could be that you're going to drink 3 litres of water, whatever it is, but write it down and go and commit to doing it. Stop waiting for January. Start taking action now. Start taking care of yourself. Stop seeing it as something that you're doing just to look different. Like, see it as something you're doing to add 10 years to your life. See it as something that you're doing so that your grandkids get to actually meet their grandparent. All of these things matter. It's not just about how you look. So as I said, write down one small thing that you're going to do today to move forwards. Stop telling yourself the story of new year, new me. It's a load of rubbish. And also, here's a final question for you. And write this one down. How do I want to feel walking into January? Do you want to feel uncomfortable, worse than you feel right now, covering up even more, feeling further away from your goals? Or do you actually want to turn around and go, do you know what? I bloody smashed the last part of the year. I still enjoyed myself, but I've made such good progress and I'm not as far away from my goal as I thought I was. It's possible, it's up to you. But look, here's the thing. I know it's easy for me to say and it's harder to do. So if this is something that you want help with right now, if you are ready to take action and invest hard work, time, money into yourself, I've opened up a handful of Level Up Discovery calls this week. There's a link around this video. Click that, book in a day and time that suits you best, and we'll discuss what you're struggling with right now, what it is that you want to achieve, and we'll map out the exact plan needed to get there. Meaning you can head into January feeling a million times better than what you feel right now. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway from this episode. Please send me a DM over on Instagram at Rachel Solway Level Up, and I'll speak to you on the next one.